All right. Oh, sorry about that. Sometimes we have technical issues. Thank you, Danny.
Hopefully it's on.
All right. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Violet is officially fired. She's lost all responsibilities and she's done. Even though she's my daughter.
Do you think it wasn't working from the start?
Yeah, I think she misclicked it. I can see where it was. I saw on the side it was not definitely going. So if you just joined us on YouTube, we're sorry we missed you.
Bummer.
We said hi to everyone.
Oh.
You could start with that.
Should I start over or what should I do?
Just keep going with it.
I'm going to go real quick with the things I mentioned already, and then I'll jump back in. So Marianne has her first craft fair this weekend. Good luck to you, Marianne. Melissa's 25th anniversary was yesterday. Congratulations to Melissa. I don't have to talk about our street construction again because that's not sewing related. I was about to mention our swap that Michelle Graham has started over in the Facebook group. So if you're on Facebook, if you go to the So Sweetness Fans Facebook page, there's an event notification at the top of the page, and it says Global So Sweetness Secret Santa. So signups are open until November 11th if you're interested in participating. There's full details in the event notification, but basically Michelle just needs your information, so name, address. If you would like to send your swap package internationally, which you don't have to, if you prefer to send within your own country to save on postage costs, that's completely fine. I guess the theme of the swap is So Sweetness pouches, so you can make a pouch from one of my pouch patterns, and there's some free patterns that Michelle's chosen as well. There's a full list of the options for pattern choices in the event notification over on Facebook, and again, that's for the Global So Sweetness Secret Santa. Signups are open until November 11th, and the full details are over on the Facebook page. I finally have a P.O. Box number for birthday postcards if you're interested in sending me a postcard. And I'll talk about that in case you missed the first time I briefly mentioned it. But I got this lovely early birthday present yesterday from Ed and Robin. Wow. Ed and Robin make our acrylic templates, and Ed is also really into woodworking. So Ed made me this beautiful box. It's got windows all around it. On the front of the house, there's a lock, so they sent me a lock with two keys. I guess one key for me and one for you, or maybe one for Violet. I'm not sure.
She's fired. She's not with us anymore.
There's a mail slot on the top of the box, and then inside the box, let me open this up really carefully. Ed and Robin sent us our first postcards.
Oh, man, what a postcard. Man, well, especially for the first ones, like, wow.
Well, the first postcard was a postcard from Arizona because I'll tell you about my request in just a minute, but Ed also made a beautiful wooden postcard from Benson, Arizona, and it looks like a legit postcard with a So Sweetness stamp on the back, so that's really awesome. Anyway, let me give you the full details about this, and this is completely optional, just if you would like to, my feelings will not be hurt if you don't have time or you don't wish to, but the address is in the description. If you'd like to send me a postcard for my birthday, it's on November 28th, so still plenty of time. But I would really love a postcard from where you're from, where you live. If that's difficult to get a hold of, a photograph of where you live is fine, or just even a regular birthday card, that's fine. I'd really love to fill up this box with lots of postcards and or birthday cards, depending on...
Did you show the wood one?
What are you talking about?
Wood postcard?
Yes, I did.
A lot of comments.
Where were
a lot
you
of people were saying they're supporting Violet. They love her. Don't fire her. Danny, be nice to her. She's not around. She can't hear me talking. So she doesn't know she's fired yet.
Are we going to have to bring William on next
Yeah, William's
going
to have to step his game up a little bit.
Anyway, so again, there's an address in the description if you'd like to send a postcard or birthday card. And again, completely optional, just if you'd like to. Mm-hmm. All right. And again, thank you to Ed and Robin for this beautiful mail slot.
Cheryl had a question.
Box. Good question.
It's got to be the Cork pouch.
Cheryl says, which are the easiest pouches to make? So we have a few quick 10-minute projects on the YouTube channel for a Cork zipper pouch, an eyeglass case. There's 6 of them, so 6 really quick projects to make with Cork. However, if you're asking for the Secret Santa swap, Michelle has a list of pouches that you can use for the swap. Some are paid patterns and some are free patterns, but she's selected specific ones just to make sure all skill levels are covered, and she had a bunch of other reasons. She just wanted to make it easier for people, I guess, to decide. So she provided a list, which I thought was pretty cool.
I think people are taking it. I'm being serious about firing Violet. I am absolutely serious. She's completely fired. No, I'm just kidding. Like I say, she's not around here. People
Violet's been
come to Violet's defense.
Well, Violet's been doing this job of starting the show on Tuesday since Danny's on the show with me for, what, over a year?
No, not that long.
This year at least?
Maybe.
Okay. Months. We'll say months. She's been doing it
Sure.
for months. She's fine. We were singing a song before the show started. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, if you have kids or grandkids, or maybe if you're a teacher and you're around kids a lot.
If you listen to this, it will get stuck in your head. Fair warning if you're going to look it up.
I'm not sure where the kids found this song from.
They're friends.
But it's the Baby Shark song, so it's a song, on YouTube?
I'll go ahead and show them the song and dance. You were doing it so well earlier. I wish we can call back Violet.
I'll do
a
30-second preview of the song.
That's pretty long.
So it goes, Baby Shark, dun dun dun
Can't do the
dun,
dance, yeah.
Baby Shark, dun dun. So you go through the whole shark family. So there's the Mama Shark, the Daddy Shark. There's hand movements to go along with that. Grandma Shark, Grandpa Shark, and there's a little bit at the end too. But that's the song. It's sticks in your head. I saw other friends on Facebook who do not have kids that were aware of this song, so I guess it's spreading. But I don't know. It's not too bad. It's kind of fun. I mean, William's going to be 12 next month, and he was even doing the shark song and dance.
They were all doing it.
But anyway, let's
It's a fun dance.
Danny's second favorite part of the show on Tuesdays, since you have your pick of the week later.
Yeah.
If you let us know, go ahead and type in the comments right now if you're a bag lady or bag dude. Also, I'm curious, the first time or brand new bag ladies and bag dudes, because I get emails sometimes from people who say they're brand new bag ladies, wannabe bag ladies, so everyone is welcome, but let us know in the comments. And I'm sure if you're a new bag lady or bag dude, everybody's going to be cheering you on Facebook and YouTube, because that's how we roll here. Everyone's super supportive. So thanks so much for posting that in the comments. Thank you for being part of our bag making community. What's so funny?
A lot of people are like, oh, not that song, or
not the Baby Shark song.
My kids sing it all day long.
Oh, lovely, lovely. All right, so let's get over to your favorite part of the show on Tuesday, which is your pick of the week.
All right, this is coming from Kelly Hall. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, you have to say something
No,
about
it's
it.
muted because. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is the Epicure pouch, part of the Minikins season 2, which just was released this past week, and she made so many of them ready, and they looked awesome. I love her presentation.
Mm-hmm.
It almost reminded me like a cupcake carousel. You'd go to
it totally
a bakery, does. And they have all these great Epicures on display. Great job, Kelly. Awesome job.
Good job, Kelly. I love the display too. The photograph.
Yeah, for sure. It's
everything
everything. That's why I loved
perfect.
it. It was like, boom, that was the one.
Excellent job. So we're actually going to, mostly the kids, but we're going with on Sunday to a leatherworking class. I'll let you talk about that since some areas are mostly me talking, but go ahead.
Hey, we're going to leatherworking class on Sunday. I'm just kidding. So my friend Heinz, he's a leather worker, which I did not know, or even know what that entailed per se. But when Sarah had a retreat, he stopped over with his tools, and he gave like an impromptu class for my kids, and they loved it. They legit thought it was the most amazing thing in the world. It's like artwork, and he's got these tools, a cutter, it's like a stamper, and it makes like 3D raised art out of leather. It's actual real leather you get, and I can't say more than it's a cool artwork, and they were super excited about it. He mentioned they have he's part of a leather guild, a leather workers guild, and he invited us to come out and he's going to teach them. Plus my other friend's kids are going to go too. It's going to be this Sunday, and they're both very excited about it. And it's interesting to watch, and he's an excellent teacher. He's a really cool guy, and I think it's going to be a bunch of fun. So
the leather hides that I've seen him using for his artwork is thicker than we use for bags, right?
Oh, yes.
And I don't know the proper terms for the different tools and what he's doing, but he made me a little, I guess you could call it an art postcard out of leather with a fence and a saddle, and
some boots.
Did the whole, and boots. He did the whole design. He colored parts of the design in, so it was super awesome. I'm really looking forward to the leatherworking class on Sunday. So it's Sunday afternoon, so before our live show on Sunday. You think we can maybe shoot a quick video when we're there?
I don't see why not.
Okay. All right.
Maybe do a little live session.
We'll shoot a small clip and hopefully we could show it on the live show of how the leatherworking class
Or maybe
went.
like a photo carousel.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea too. All right, so before we get on to the questions, we'd like to kindly invite you. I see another comment, don't sing it. Oh, so funny. Sorry about that, guys. If you enjoy our live shows, if you enjoy our bag making videos and our sewing tutorial videos, if you're watching on Facebook, we'd like to invite you to hit the share button right now. Share this sewing video with all of your sewing friends. Regardless, either if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, if you could at least hit the like button, which is a little picture of a thumbs up. The likes and shares,
Facebook, yep.
Or hearts on Facebook, thank you. They help us out so much. It's not just a silly little thing that you click. Like, it really...
It gives you reach, and it may, like, recommend us to a person who's in similar stuff as this, and it puts as, you know, meet new people, more bag ladies.
Recommended, or I'm sure you're all familiar if you're watching on YouTube, you watch a video on a particular topic, and then YouTube suggests, hey, you might like this other video or this one. That's kind of what we're striving for with the likes and shares. So thank you so much for helping us out with that. And I guess time for questions now. Did you see any coming through already?
Yeah, I saw one pop up.
If you have a question for me, either sewing related, bag making related, a question about sewing notion or tool, let's not talk about that song I was singing earlier because everybody's like, no, la 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 la. Go ahead and ask your question in the comments. I'll answer as many questions as I can live. Candy says, will we get to see the kids work Sunday nights? Absolutely. I don't know exactly what we get to take home. Hopefully we get to take home whatever they worked on, but...
we will, for sure.
We will? Okay, cool. I'm really excited. Yeah, we will show you on Sunday.
Someone's got a really good eye.
Louisa says, new threads behind Danny, love the green. Oh, yeah, so I decided to order some more threads after we finished the Minikin Season 2 videos because we were filming so many videos and I actually got to sew, which doesn't always happen, believe it or not. I realized I had some gaps in my thread colors that I needed to fill based on the threads that I've been working on for those last 13 projects. And so I ordered from Red Rock Threads, which they carry basically any brand and any weight of thread. So I ordered some Orfill 40 weight thread from Red Rock Threads. You could see it, behind Danny's ear over here. So I got some seafoam greens. I got a bunch of pinks. They're still in the plastic. I haven't taken them out yet, but I'm really excited because you don't want to be working on a project and have to stop because you don't have the right color of thread. I'm not saying it has to be the exact color of your fabric, but it has to be close enough so that it looks nice. And so I ordered some new threads. So I never want to have a thread that's too dark than the fabric that I'm working with because for me, I'd rather have a thread that's a little bit lighter. I feel like it blends in a little bit better. But anyway, very happy with my new threads. Danielle says, can you put the Cork Club videos in a playlist? I've had to search for them on Google and it directs me to your website for at least 3 of them. Oh, is there something
YouTube,
we could do with
have
that?
on a playlist.
We do, but not a Cork Club playlist. It's maybe I'll make a new playlist for Cork videos.
There you go.
That will work. Okay, that'll work. I better write myself a note though, because I am likely to forget. Harriet says, do you use heat and bond with Cricuts, and do you have a video on how to use the Cricuts? I actually don't have a Cricut. This is a very relevant question, though, because I was asking in the Facebook group the other day, Monday, which was yesterday. How time flies. I had lunch with my friend Vanessa on Monday, and she was talking about her electronic cutter machine that she has, and I was asking her, so I know I'm familiar... Well, I'm not familiar with, but I just know that Silhouette is a brand that makes electronic cutters. Cricut. Vanessa told me that Brother also has a cutter, Scan and Cut. I was asking which one is the best because I'm kind of confused. There's so many options. Vanessa told me some of them cut fabric and some of them are really not made for fabric, more for paper cutting. So I'm kind of curious. If you're not on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments if you have one of those electronic cutters. I kind of want to get one because we are hoping to go to Disney next year, and with my parents also, and I'd love to get matching like Disney shirts that I've made myself. And also I know you can do other things like mugs. Vanessa showed me a mug that she'd made. Other fabric related things with the electronic cutters. So I'm very curious about that, but I know nothing about them. So another thing to investigate, I suppose. Sharon says, do you know when the templates will be available for Minikin Season 2? So I have them on the website, but they're listed as out of stock. We don't have them yet. Ed and Robin have not shipped them yet, so we may or may not have them by the end of the week. I don't want to rush Ed because we did ask for a lot of templates, but as soon as we do have those, I will let you know on the live shows and on social media. Pat says, why do I get a bird's nest at the start of sewing? So this is actually a really relevant question for the book review that I did this past Sunday, which is called Walk by Jackie Gehring, and she talked briefly about the bird's nest in relation to machine quilting. And she had a really good suggestion, which I've bookmarked in my copy of the book. But one of her suggestions for eliminating the bird's nest is to start with the needle down and bring the bobbin thread up. And then she calls it, I forgot the name she called it in the book, but it was tiny stitches for securing your threads. So she turns her stitch length all the way down to 0.2 millimeters, not 2 millimeters, 0.2, which is really tiny stitches. She'll stitch like 5 tiny stitches to secure the threads and then change back to the regular stitch length. So she specifically says in the book that's an awesome way to eliminate the bird's nests on the bottom of your fabric. So I have not sewn since Sunday, but I'm definitely going to try that out, and Jackie highly recommends that method for securing your stitches. Cheryl says, will the green cork be available again? We actually replaced the green cork with the grass green cork. I don't think we have any of the regular green cork left, unfortunately. It was sort of a slow seller for us, and when we saw that they had come out with the color grass green cork, in my opinion, it was a much nicer green, so that's why we replaced it, unfortunately. Sorry to say. Do you agreed with that statement?
The grass green was a better color green.
Yeah, the regular green cork was more of a, I don't want to say uneven, but
it had like variations.
Variations, yes, that's correct. Julie says, do you think the Trifle tumbler could be made in leather? I believe I have seen people make it in leather in the past. A particular person's name does not spring to mind, but let me know in the comments if you have made the Trifle tumbler with leather. Colleen says, what is the white cord called? Where could I find it for the produce bags? So, I don't have the rolls here. It's at my parents' house because my dad puts those kits together. But the white cord that she's talking about was for the mesh produce bags from Minikin Season 2. And it was just 1 millimeter cording that I found online. You can find just generic cording, but I believe that this particular cording was for making piping with for quilts, but it's really, really thin. I wonder if you could find something like that at the hardware store. Do you think? Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, it's
basically a really thin cotton string. I don't know. Very interesting. It's interesting what kinds of things you can find at the hardware store for bag making, like O-rings, for example. That's a very good question. Melanie says, I thought you used 50 weight thread. I also have 50 weight thread that I use in a pinch, but 40 weight thread is thicker than 50 weight because the numbers kind of go in reverse. That 40 weight is my first choice for bag making, but like I said, 50 weight works in a pinch too. Eugenia says, I have never worked with snaps before and I know nothing about them. I purchased the Season 2 Minikins and noticed a lot of the patterns use snaps. What tool do I buy and where do I get the snaps? So I have a video on my YouTube channel if you're interested in that. I demonstrate how to use the snap setter tool, which is a little plastic tool, and it installs what I call pearl snap. So basically it's a snap with a metal cap on the back, and you just use a hammer to install them. It's really easy and it's really inexpensive tool. I also have a cam snap press, which comes with as a handheld tool, and also a tabletop press, which is quite large. That's the one I have. Either of those would be fine. I know there's other brands like Dritz that makes pearl snap tools. I have not had good success with the Dritz pearl snap tool in the past. I don't know if you remember even years ago where I tried to get you to hammer the snaps in and we couldn't get them in straight every time. Do you recall that at all? Yeah,
do you recall that? Because they had like 3 little teeth they'd point in, but sometimes one would go out and then be a big pain.
But the snap setter tool is awesome. We sell it on the website for $9 for the tool. It comes with a few, they call them practice snaps, but they're completely usable snaps, and we also sell the replacement snaps. Those are metal though, so that's a fun tool. Anyway, that demonstration video is on my YouTube channel for the snap setter tool if you're interested. Cheryl says, which pattern would you recommend for a diaper bag? So I have a pattern called the Aragon bag. We have not filmed a video for that one yet, but we do plan on filming a video for that and releasing it at the end of January. Again, that's the Aragon bag. I designed that as a diaper bag. I know people use other bags as diaper bags. Actually, the Oslo Craft bag, I know people make that often. The Oslo Craft bag is a free pattern and video for kind of like a diaper station caddy, and I could see that because the Oslo Craft bag has a divider in the middle, and you could put diapers on one side and maybe creams and other things on the other half. I've seen that one also made for baby shower gifts as well. Linda says, you have lots of acrylic templates out of stock. I guess that's good, but when are you getting more? So the ones that are out of stock are mainly the new ones that we haven't got yet. But I did want to photograph them and get them on the website and get the prices out there so that people were aware. But we've never actually gotten any in stock besides my one sample each. As soon as we get those, though, we'll let you know on the show and on social media.
Danny, did you 3D printer and made anything? I made a great dust collector. I mean, it's probably collect as much dust as our embroidery machine right now. It's just been a busy time, you know. I think
you made a little whistle with it.
I made a couple items, but that's when I first got it, like the first week.
The whistle was cool, but
The little Martian guy.
It was like a little whistle you could find in a, what do you call that? A
quarter machine.
A quarter
maybe?
machine, yeah. It was interesting.
Something basic.
I think you had ideas for making little Disney characters on the machine, right?
Yeah, I wanted.
That hasn't happened yet, but
no, it hasn't. It's like our embroidery machine's just sitting there right now.
The sad thing about the embroidery machine is because we don't have any space in the house, the embroidery machine's sitting on our kitchen counter with the dust cover on it, so it's...
I need a dust cover for
It's like
mine.
right there. Like, I'd like a little more counter space when I'm cooking, but we needed room for somewhere for the embroidery machine, so that's where it is. Speaking of, Deanie says the embroidery machine. But my friend Vanessa made me this pouch for my birthday because I saw her yesterday, and this is embroidered. It says, horsehair don't care. And I just noticed this... cute little design on the back, so I really love this. So I'm like, I guess I have to get a move on with the embroidery machine so I can make something like that for Violet. Jennifer says, how do we get into the Santa pouch exchange? So if you go to the Facebook group, the So Sweetness Fans Facebook group, at the top of the group there is an event notification, and it's called Global So Sweetness Secret Santa. So that's what you want to click on. The full details are there for what you need to do, and that closes on November 11th. That doesn't mean you have to finish your project by November 11th. You just have to sign up by November 11th. Linda says, what embroidery machine did you purchase? So we bought the Brother Innovis 1600. Certainly not the most expensive one. We tried to rein it in a little bit as far as that purchase. Deb says, any update on the So Sweetness t-shirts and mugs? No update on the t-shirts. We kind of wanted to offer several designs, and we wanted to revisit our initial idea. It wasn't...
It's a work in progress. We'll see how it
goes.
goes.
I wasn't 100% pleased with the initial idea, and so in my mind, when the initial idea is not where I want it to be, we just have to spend some more time on that and revisit it. Pat says, Sarah, would you consider making Oslo templates? Oh, I haven't thought about that. The Oslo, I think, is mostly squares and rectangles, except for the sides. Very interesting. I'll keep that in mind. I'll have to check out the pattern pieces again. Oslo acrylic. Writing myself a note. Colleen says, you can make mouse ears and almost anything with your embroidery machine. Star Wars, Harry Potter. I haven't seen Doctor Who, but that would be awesome. I didn't know that. I've seen the mouse ears circulate the internet, but I didn't know there were like specific designs like that for embroidery machines. That is very cool. Another note on my scrap of paper, mouse ears. Thank you guys. See, that's what I love about this show. I hope we're helping everybody out there in some way with tips and tricks, but you guys help me out so much as well by telling me things that I didn't know about or suggesting things. Patty says, Sarah, you always talk about Pellon SF101, but it is a woven interfacing, and according to Pellon, you need to pre-shrink it. You never mention that. Do you pre-shrink? I actually never have. Although there are pre-shrink instructions on the Pellon, if you get buy the yard piece at the store, it comes with a little tissue paper. I've never pre-shrunk it. I believe you do that in cold water, but don't quote me on that since I've not done it. I've not found that attaching that particular interface into quilting cotton makes anything shrink. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I could say
Next
about that.
question's up.
Carolyn says, which pattern would make a good bag satchel for a man, hopefully one with a video? Perhaps the Kennedy bag. We have not filmed the video for the Kennedy bag yet. I think we were originally planning on filming it Monday, but Monday's passed already. I think our backup plan was Wednesday, which is tomorrow, but I have not cut out the fabrics yet. I I think we could still potentially film that video this week. We've just had a lot of customer service. People needed help via email for things like locked out of their accounts, and emails always are a very high priority for us. So we'll be filming that, I promise. Pat says, what is a single needle plate? So depending on your sewing machine, my Juki is a straight stitch only, so my needle does not move position like I know a lot of other sewing machines do. So my sewing machine plate just has a single hole. If your sewing machine needle does change positions, you'll likely not have a hole, but sort of a bar or a rectangle to give your needle space to move back and forth. There's usually two different types of plates for a straight stitch machine, either the regular plate, which has a relatively small hole, and there's also a plate for thick fabrics, which is still a small hole, but just a little bit bigger, and that's the plate that I have for my machine. I bought it as extra, so it was about $100 for that plate, but I find that it's good because sometimes when you're sewing with thick fabrics, your needle, when it goes through the fabric, because the fabric layers are so thick, the needle tends to shift a little to the side. And if you have that little bit bigger of a hole when your needle shifts, it doesn't connect with the plate. It goes through the hole instead of breaking off on the plate. So that's the good thing about having that different plate for your machine if you have a straight stitch. Kim says, what are the size purse feet do you suggest for the Kennedy bag? So there's a huge array of different types and sizes of purse feet. Half-inch purse feet are fine. Some people like bigger purse feet. Purse feet also come in different designs, like sort of like a domed shape. Some come kind of like a cap shape. So it really doesn't matter. It's basically just your personal preference. And the Kennedy bag is a decent enough sized bag that you could either use a small purse foot or bigger one. It doesn't matter. Mary Jo says, I'm getting ready to do holiday gifts. Have you done a yoga mat bag? I have not, but I've gotten requests for it. Actually, I was considering taking yoga classes because one of our friends takes yoga classes, and it sounds like something, I need a little bit more exercise in my life. So might do that, and I might come out with something for that yoga bag, yoga mat bag also. Sonia says, are any of your patterns good for making a wristlet? So the first one that pops into my head is one of the Minikin Season 2 patterns for the Metro double zip pouch. I guess it's more of a, it does have a wristlet on there, but it's more of a pouch. Let me pull those out. So here they are. They come in 3 different sizes. I'll hold up the biggest just so you can see. So it does have sort of a wrist strap on it. I'm trying to think. I do not think I've designed many that are specifically wristlets. Are any of them coming to mind for you?
I'm reading a bunch of comments. I'm not even sure what you were talking about, to be honest. Something about wristlets.
I think
good one.
Also the convertible, Turnpike convertible wallet could also be made into a wristlet by, instead of the strap having the wristlet there. I think I've actually seen someone in the Facebook group make that pattern for a wristlet because a lot of people have made that one already. Let's see. BJ says, Sarah, would you consider making a drop-in lining for the Aragon bag? I don't like having to bind in tight spaces. Let me think. Yeah, we could do that. Maybe when we do the video, I'll have to take a look at the pattern again, but maybe when we do the video in January, we can offer an alternate method for that. Oh, thank you. Thank you for posting that. Oh, Michelle says, have you tried embroidering on polka dot fabric? It turns out really well. I'm a huge polka dot fan. If I could have everything in polka dots, I would.
That covers me. Because I am Santa.
Michelle Graham is posting a direct link to the Global So Sweetness Secret Santa. So there's the direct link.
If you're on YouTube, pause the video right here.
No.
And you can copy the link.
Just, you want to leave that up there for a second?
Yeah, I'll leave it up there for 5 minutes.
We'll
just keep talking.
Cover your face over there. You can... Oh, I can't answer another question, so you take that off, though.
Yeah, that's a disadvantage. That's
That's funny. Mary says, we were all late due to a technical snafu that was over on YouTube. Just know that Violet is fired. Welcome.
Go get a hashtag Violet is fired or save Violet's job.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's so funny how often something off the cuff happens and sort of it it spirals. I don't want to say spirals out of control because I don't feel that that's what it is over in the chat on Facebook and or YouTube. I just remember many times in the past where I've been laughing to the point of almost crying. I think one thing that comes to my mind was people were asking, I think this was a few months ago, people were asking their husbands to buy them
no, they're going to...
patterns for their husband's birthday.
Yeah.
And one or two ladies said that they were going to, you know, it was their ex-husband's birthday, so they were going to buy a pattern in honor of their ex-husband's birthday. That was another time where I laughed to the point of crying. Cheryl says, templates for the bifold wallet would be great. I have made many of these, and it is super hard to get a nice match of all the corners with plastic templates. Oh, that's a great idea. And those templates are pretty small, so I think that would be relatively inexpensive. Thank you very much for the recommendation. Bifold wallet templates. Faith says, don't use a lot of steam when applying SF101. It will shrink a bit if you do. Oh, good point. That's a good point to make about that. SF101, also known as Pollen Shape Flex. Still writing my note about the bifold wallet templates. Embroidery Library. I see some comments about embroidery machines and Embroidery Library. I've gotten many emails highly recommending Embroidery Library for designs. Allison says, do you have to have a special press to attach purse feet? No, actually you don't. You can do it all by hand. The way the purse foot works, actually I think we have a YouTube video up on the YouTube channel about installing purse feet. The purse feet remind me of prongs from when I was in school with the loose leaf paper that had the holes on the side, and you would put prongs through and open the prongs outward to create kind of like a booklet, if you will, of any papers you'd written. So the purse feet remind me of that. So it's basically a metal cap or a metal round dome with generally 2 prongs coming out the back. So you either make, depending on how big your purse foot is, 1 or 2 slits through the right side of your fabric. I usually like to follow that up with a bit of seam sealant. And then on the wrong side of the fabric, you just open the prongs outward, and you can just do that by hand. It's really easy. Purse feet are the simplest thing, just about the most inexpensive bit of purse hardware. Claudia says, Sarah, what would be a bag for a toddler? My little girls, 2 and 3, are going to a birthday party this Saturday, and I'd like to make a little bag that matches their dress. What has been, the Polaris bag has been recommended in the past for a small bag for a little girl. I'm not sure if this is the Oreo bag.
Baker Street shrunk it down might be easy too.
Yeah, maybe the Baker Street made smaller. The Oreo bag, this is the small version. You could also make a cotton candy pouch and add a side strap, which I also have a video up on the YouTube channel to add a side strap to a bag. So this is the medium medium cotton candy pouch. There's a bigger and a smaller, obviously. Either of these, maybe the medium or the large would be good for a little bag for a little girl. Tiara says, what color fabric goes with the penny faux leather? So the penny faux leather is sort of a bright copper.
Since like it's teal or like a light green or something?
Since it's a neutral, I think it could go with a lot of different things. I don't know. Black. It would really stand out with like a dark fabric.
I don't think black is a color.
No, but like if you have a fabric where the background is black and maybe there's some text print or like a bold black design. Yeah, that would. Oh, black and white. Yeah, that would be really good. Susie says, selvage zipper pouch makes a great wristlet. Oh, that's a good one, too.
For little daughter.
The selvage zipper pouch is a free video on our YouTube channel, and you could just add the little wrist strap like this right here. Ooh, that's a good question, too. Pamela says, which Minikins 2 has been most popular so far? So, it's very interesting because I know lots of people are making the patterns, but people don't always post their photos when they finish, which is completely fine. If you're just going by the amount of photos posted in the Facebook group, I would say probably either the Day Trip cell phone wallet or the Turnpike convertible wallet. So the Day Trip is... here's the Day Trip. So here's the horizontal style. And then here's the vertical style. It fits a cell phone in the pocket in the front, and it's got like the wallet on the inside. Would you say this one was made the most in the Facebook group?
I would say so.
Yeah,
and I would say the tall version, the pocket on the...
This one?
Yeah.
The up and down?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Tamara says, I'd love a template for the Cork eyeglass case too. Oh yeah, that would be a good one because that would also be a small template eyeglass case. Debbie says, can the Turnpike convertible wallet be made out of cork? If so, how much? Is there a grain line with the cork? So the cork does not have a grain because it doesn't stretch either direction. So you can cut it however you wish. Oh, there was a follow-up, sorry. I forgot what the first part of that question was. If the Turnpike convertible wallet could be made with cork. I have not made it with cork, but certainly doable, and I think I would just follow the same instructions and interfacing recommendations as per the pattern. I think that would be completely fine. That would be awesome, the Turnpike in all cork. Well, the outside at least. Amanda says, if you decide to get an electronic cutting machine, would you consider doing a review video on it? Of course we would. I know we haven't done a review on the embroidery machine yet, but we would for sure do a review. And because we purchase basically all the things that we use, it would be an honest review because no one would be breathing down my neck because I got something for free, certainly. Carol says, how do you get wrinkles out of SF101? So what I generally do, so sometimes on the end of a bolt of the SF101, it tends to get wrinkled the most because it's been just wrapped around so many times, wrapped around the cardboard so many times. I tend to just have my fabric pressed really nicely. And then because the SF101 has wrinkles in it and you can't really press it before you get it over to the fabric, so I tend to just start in a small corner and then just kind of pull the SF101 as taut and flat as I can, and then just sew a little at a time until I get to the opposite corner. That usually does the trick. Kathy says, are you...
Oh, Danny.
I'm confused. Did I
I
miss
thought
something?
it was just a funny comment. She meant bored.
Oh, bored.
I liked Hoed better.
I think sometimes people
Because
think...
I yawned earlier, but no, I'm not tired or bored.
Oh, okay. No, I think sometimes people think Danny is not invested in the chats, but the main issue is he looks through all the comments to post questions. And so it entails a lot of reading, which I'm very thankful he's here because if I had to scan the list looking for questions, I think it would make for quite a boring show, I would think, if I was reading the whole time, reading the screen.
There's just a lot of comments mixed in with there, and I'm not trying to skip questions and
we never mean to skip anybody's questions, but sometimes because we're working off both Facebook and YouTube Live at the same time, the software that we use kind of combines everyone's questions, and we also see comments, so when people say... oh, that's a good idea, or someone suggests something in the chat, which is really cool. We're totally cool with suggestions and all that stuff, but sometimes it pushes everything down really fast, and it just goes by really fast, hard to catch the questions in time, and sometimes they move to the second page or before we get to them. Pat says, what bags will be in the new 4-pack bundle? Yes, on the drop-in lining for the Aragon bag. So I think the Aragon bag... and the Reason to bag were the two that I've kind of confirmed in my mind so far. I wanted to make 1 or 2 new patterns to add in there, so depending on what I get to, but the sling backpack is really high on my list.
Yep.
Also, somebody suggested an idea the other day that I was really into for a knitting case with holes for the yarn to come out when the bag was closed.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I was really into that, and it's kind of like a shiny object, which Michelle sometimes talks about in the Facebook group, but shiny object is like, oh, great idea, but we can only do one at a time. Yeah. Squirrel, yes. Kelly
shiny
says,
object, yeah.
What would be the best material for a flat iron travel case? So, flat iron travel case, I think... for one, in the lining, using an insulated fleece would be really good to keep that heat inside the case. You could either use a quilting cotton or like a canvas or duck cloth for the lining, and then whatever you'd like for the exterior. That would be another cool idea too. Darn it, so many cool ideas.
Well, it says Facebook froze. I'm getting a lot of comments coming through. I think we should probably end the show on this.
Facebook froze? Mm-hmm. Okay. Darn it.
Technology. I think we got cursed today. Maybe Violet didn't have a mistake. I'll have to go back and double check and
you'll have to apologize to her later.
Probably unlikely because it didn't start up there. So I'm pretty sure. 99% I'm pretty sure. But I was trying to give her a little leeway.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us for Ask Sarah. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but usually things tend to work 99.9% of the time, I would say. 60%
of the time works 100% of the time.
Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you'll join us on Sunday. We're excited to show you our progress from the leather working workshop. So good night from me and Danny.
We'll see you.
Bye,
everybody.
Have a
great week. See you later. Bye-bye.